Hello! Who here wants to make high ticket sales, consistent high ticket sales, recurring revenue coming from high ticket sales? Let me tell you how I did it when I first started, because when I first started, I had a couple of high ticket clients, two, three high ticket clients on retainers, and then a couple of other clients who started with an entry level offer and then bought again. And this happened within the first 3-4 months of me starting. Okay? And I'm going to tell you how I did it and how my clients, like how I teach my clients to do it. That actually takes them from this 20-30K mark to 100K months to $1 million months, or clients who are already making like $1 million. They are doubling this. So here, this works regardless of your current stage, which is the most important. And the other important thing is that this is not a cookie cutter advice. I'm going to tell you how to do it your way. That's the most important thing. And I will tell you the exact situations when I was using my own methodology to sign these high ticket clients for long term retainers, and what happened when I listened to some other cookie cutter advices, when I was listening to some coaches who were like giving me wrong advices, honestly, and what it cost. So let's dive deep. Take your notes, start making notes, and I want to tell you the first and most important thing for me was to think like a CEO. Not I want to make one sale, not I want to make a couple of sales, but my first thought was I want to make this amount per month. Okay, that's extremely important. So make clear what actually works for you, because at that time when I started my business, I had friends further ahead in business than me who were telling me, start with something small, start selling low ticket, start just attract someone or just reach to someone. And this fucking thing didn't work for me. And then I paused all the noise around me and started thinking, if you don't know me, I come from corporate, I have been a brand manager, and I perfectly know how to build brands that are sustainable. And not just we make one high cash month in this direction, but we expand in this direction where we are growing a real empire, not just something that is not going to last. And then I turned all the noise off and started thinking, let me think, how were we building these brands in corporate? I come with experience. I'm not just a beginner. I'm not someone who doesn't have the results. I do have the results. I do have scaled brands to 60% yearly growth. And when we are speaking of millions in corporations, 60% yearly growth is huge. And then I started thinking, okay, what are the key messages that we are using for the brands? How are we doing the strategy? And in this space, me being a brand manager, me being responsible for 6, 7, 10 brands at a time, it was never planning 1 month. It was always planning on a yearly basis. It was always thinking long term. And I was just not able to think short term of one-off wins. I was not able to think of one-off sale, regardless of the price point. So my first decision was, okay, if I want this to be a real business, what would I do? And I reverse engineered every single thing that we were doing and that I was doing as a brand manager in a big company that makes millions. As someone who is leading a department with a couple of brands and all of them are successful. So I stepped in my CEO role. I didn't think like a service provider, like just a coach. I turned all the noise off. So please, this is the first thing you need to do. I know what all the coaches are telling you, and I want to tell you that listening to someone else only hurted me. I lost money, my revenue dipped when I was listening to someone else because I let my CEO power away. Okay? And this is why cookie cutter advices don't work for you. This is why you pay 15k or 25k in for a mastermind and you think I will be on the vibe, I will see how others are doing it. Okay, yes. But then you get templates, then you get this is how I do it, and you start replicating this on autopilot without thinking like a CEO of your business. So first and foremost, list down what you want. So when some friends and some other people who were doing business were telling me, okay, start with something small, and I was thinking, no, first of all, this is not the perceived value of my work. If I put a low ticket price to this work, these people, like my ideal client, who is already a CEO, who has a business, who knows they need marketing, who knows they need to somehow fix their sales system, they're not going to pay for this low ticket. If I price myself low ticket, I'm lost. But that required me sit down and think like a CEO. Not just be in the vibe, not just manifest it. Sit down, think and list. What is the transformation that you are bringing to these people? And what is the correct pricing, if you wish? The other thing I was told is tell them what will they get. Okay? But that again was wrong. Because they are not getting marketing strategy, they are not getting positioning, they are not getting funnels. What they actually get, they become top of mind brand. People are paying them and choosing them. And they have sales on autopilot. Okay? They turn their 300k a year. My first client was making 300k per year. So when we implement, when I come and do my work, this 300k is going to become 500k. If you have 10 people in your offers, you will have 30 people in your offers, which directly means more revenue, more income. So people were telling me very, very wrong things, okay? And I didn't sign clients like that. The way I signed my clients was leading like a CEO, fully owning my previous results, my know-how, the way I can do it for them, fully owning this, thinking long term of my business. And I was doing this. These first two clients who were 3k and 5k per month, I told them what they are going to experience as a transformation, what is going to be the end result for them which was the desire they have, double the revenue, triple the revenue, get more clients, which is the desire of every business owner, to earn more, right? And I also told them how this is going to bring them more ease and speed. Because everyone wants to make money, but no one wants to be buried in work. And this is like I'm telling you the simplest, like I'm using a very simple language because I want this to reach more people. So share this with whoever needs to hear it. But the point here is that your positioning needs to be transformational. Okay? Clear, tangible transformation. That was the key for me. Then the second thing was that I told them this costs X. And it requires at least 6 months of work. At least. The other very important thing here is that these people were ready, they were actively searching for solution, they were ready to pay, they had the money because their business was already generating income. And I want to tell you that I, like, very rarely, almost never, made any money with cold outreach. What I do and what I teach is attraction marketing, how to position your offer, how to position the transformation you deliver in a way that is going to attract these ready to pay you clients. And clients are going to line up to pay you. And this is what happened to me in my first year and in my second year. This is how I signed up 15K clients or 50K clients. By being very clear what is the tangible result and the transformation they are going to get, and by showing them that this could happen with clarity and ease. I do not dig deep into the methodologies I use, in the work I do, how much time it's going to take. How much time it's going to take is the only thing, is the minimum commitment is X amount of time. This is how you make high ticket sales that are consistent, and this is how you can secure sustainable recurring revenue. Because one more thing, as I told you, many people were telling me, okay, start with something, do some low ticket thing, and when I tried to do this, I did. I admit that I have listened to a lot of wrong advices, but you know what? The thing here is that something might work if this worked for them because of the service they do, because of their offer, because of what they deliver. It doesn't mean it's going to work for you. That is the first and most important thing. You're thinking like a CEO. This is what I'm diving deep in the Scale Like a CEO masterclass. I'm diving very deep on where your income leaks right now, what are the most common mistakes I have seen with my clients and that I have also done before, and how to step into this CEO power so you're not wavering when you hear some noise or when a client tries to cross your boundaries. When you're clear and you know what your goal is and you're leading like the leader of your company, not just a service provider, you can actually achieve the results you want. You are going to make 6 figures like that. But you need to lead. You need to be the CEO who is thinking of the company's growth, not just like that high cash months, but also sustainability, also building an empire, also the legacy you're leaving behind you. This is how you're going to sign high ticket clients. By knowing very well what your offer does, by offering a long-term solution to an ongoing need, not necessarily problem, but an ongoing need your clients would have, and by being able to open the loops for this ongoing work. It is simple, but you need to be very clear. You need to know what you want and how you're scaling your business, and then to show these clients that you want to attract, not chase them, attract them. Speak only to people who are already looking for solutions, who are already ready to pay you. If you have to convince them, it's going to take you forever. And then do not dig into things that are wrong or that are not working. Speak to their desire, what they want. So in my case, my clients want to sign more clients without chasing. They want to make more money without burning out. They want to grow their company not only in terms of scaling the revenue, but also profits, the real profit, and leaving an impact. So today, after this live, take some notes, like make 2 columns. In the first, write CEO decisions, what exactly you want, what is aligned to you. And do you know why my clients get these insane results? Because I'm not teaching them cookie cutter advices. I'm not giving band-aid solutions. I always work with having in mind your genius, what works for you, what would work for you. And yes, your niche, your service, and your goals matter. Because if you are not actually working and following what you want, and how, like, your leadership style, what your clients want, how do you want this business to grow, you sign up for very expensive coaching programs, you get buried in some templates that, if I have to be honest, they oftentimes are pushing you back because you're further ahead. But no one in these containers is taking care to align the work with you and your stage of business. If your audience is cold or warm, if you have current clients, how to upgrade them, how to fix your positioning. You receive some templates or some content templates, and they're telling you use these 6, 7, 10 content templates, but in fact you're not addressing the desires and needs of your clients. You're not answering objections, and you end up in having maybe 1 high cash month, but it's not sustainable. And that's the difference. When you work with me, we align the strategies, the positioning, and everything you do with you and your goals. Take your notes, think of what your goals are, think as a CEO of a company, and make sure you're speaking to your ideal client in a transformational, desire-driven way. Bye.